Hello, everyone. We're just going to freestyle this today. We don't really have any kind of plan or lesson so far yet. But I am Luke. This is Life with Lucas, and this is my guest today.
My name is Chief. It's
Yes.
very nice to meet everybody.
Yes, all 5 of my viewers. David, specifically David.
We love you guys. We love you guys.
We're building the audience. This is just networking. That's
You know what? We're already viral. To be real, we are already viral. Just blah, 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 blah. I
Yes.
can speak. We'll edit that out or we won't. It's okay. This is good content.
Like I said, I'm going to watch it later, and whatever works, works. Whatever doesn't. So that's how we're going to do it. But welcome to Life with Lucas, featuring Chief today. And usually I like to get on here and I just talk about whatever comes to my mind, whatever life lessons I want to get out there, whatever is on my mind that weighs on me, that I feel might weigh on other people. So I guess that being said, if you want to tell these guys a little bit about yourself so that they can kind of like feel like connected to you in a sense, I suppose that would be pretty cool.
Okay. About myself. Well, I am one person that has many people, and it makes my life incredibly frustrating. But my main objective with life is to be the same person in every room. So that is something I'm definitely building towards lately, because we definitely have a tendency to be known for different things to others, but I just want to be known for my core tributes of character. And so that's just kind of something I'm really working on. And eye contact with the camera, because looking down isn't really great. But you know what? This is a learning process, just like everything else in life. So we're getting there. I'm very thankful for my Lucas, who brought me into his space, because this is definitely something that's very new to me, but I know I'm being called to speak. So I have grown up everywhere. I was born in Pennsylvania, but my journey has brought me everywhere. So I've lived in Texas, North Carolina, and a bunch of bits of Pennsylvania. But I learned so much in a matter of one life that felt like so many. Even where I stand today is a different life than I was standing yesterday. I am a channel, so I am consistently speaking, not necessarily because I need to hear myself, but I need to hear things beyond myself. So pretty much what a channel is, it means that your vessel can be held empty, or you place your current soul, which is my origin me, in the back of my mind, so I can allow things from higher or lower realms to come through, because I work with literally everyone, because I'm here for justice and I'm here for peace. And the only way you can do that is be friends with everybody. So that's why I don't necessarily pick a side on a lot of aspects, because I'd rather walk in the middle.
Sometimes it's better to set up shop in the middle, is what I say. I hate the term that I'm on the fence, but I like to use the term I've built a home somewhere in between. What that means for me is that if somebody has a differing view or opinion from my own, or a belief system that's different than my own, for instance, we believe quite differently in certain things, but we also believe in the core principle and moral that, like, you're here to teach people and to help others learn the lesson that maybe they're not seeing themselves through their own eyes. So that's where I think, is that what you kind of mean when you say like your channel, you kind of get these lessons, you kind of get these things that guides want you to tell people?
Yes, absolutely. They're literally, I like to say I don't think. And right. I literally mean that. I don't think. I know how to think, but I feel like when you think, you should be intentional, because for me, my thoughts manifest. And so that's why I'm very careful about what I do. So right. I keep an empty mind so I can walk into things without the objective of knowing them, because I find that it's a lot more contradictory to learning when you feel as though you already know.
Right. And that's kind of why I think we didn't really build like a lesson plan today. We kind of just wanted to see where the winds took us. You know what I mean? If you're trying too hard to plan.
That. I was going to say yes.
Yeah. Yes. So we kind of like have the shared mental wavelength with a lot of things, but the thing that's really kind of unique about Chief is that, and where it balances me out, is I've always been kind of like on this, like, so disorganized. I never know like where I'm going, but I focus too much on wanting to know where I'm going. I feel like, and I can't speak for you, but I feel like with Chief, it's like she doesn't need to know where she's going because she knows she's going to get there, which I think is really cool. So that's kind of where like I like the balance, because I'm like organized chaos, but she's more like okay, it's okay that this is chaos. I am the chaos, but I'm also the peace.
I am the eye of the storm.
Yes, there you go, the eye of the storm. And it reminds me of something that Brandon once told me, he said, and this is a good piece of advice for anybody struggling, going through something. This is what's speaking to me right now, so I guess this is what I'll talk on. But I once told him, how incredibly depressed I was, how I was struggling with, my confidence, my character, all that stuff. And he said something to me. He goes, it's okay to be sad, but it's not okay to become sadness. It's not okay to be sadness.
Yes, we aren't our emotions.
No, we are not our emotions. We aren't our learning curves. We aren't our disabilities. As a society, we'll sometimes try to label people. We are the thing that stands between that label and what we can be beyond that. So, and he told me that it's okay to kind of be in the rain. It's okay to be in the storm, but it's up to you to get out of that storm, right? It's up to you to get out of it. But your view on it's very interesting, because you're saying you don't have to necessarily get out. You can be the eye of it, and
Absolutely.
You can be the one that controls all of it. So for the people that feel like they're stuck, obviously it's okay if you are stuck in that storm, because you can become the eye of it, as she's saying. Or if you're one of those people that you want to pick up and kind of go somewhere else with it, only you're responsible for how you get there and when you get there. And there is no right or wrong time, because time
is not real.
Right. Time is not
illusion.
Real.
It is an illusion, and it's a great construct for what I like to consider actors. But you know what? There's an actor within everyone, so learn to utilize it if you're going to be playing the big game.
Yes. Could we contribute some of that with like shadow work?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so for the people that don't know what shadow work is, how would you define it to them?
For me personally, shadow work is, so to give you a bit of a breakdown, I am a house. I'm a very big house. I keep the lights on in my house. So essentially why I say I'm a house is because my body is a temple. I'm sure that that's been heard many times before, but I feel like it's easier for us to understand a society, a house, a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So it is a house for my soul. And the thing is, within my belief system, we have had many lives. And we come back to this place, Earth, and it's a school to me, just to learn our lessons. I feel as though I've learned so many lessons within this life from all the things of what not to do. And if we have that mindset, you can acquire a bit more knowledge just on understanding what you don't want, just as much as what you do want. But yes, falling off track there, I am
that's actually really good.
I am a house. And so not everyone understands how big of a house they are, because they get stuck in one room with themselves. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we don't know how to open the doors.
And that room is what, up here?
Yeah,
in the head?
Literally.
Yeah.
Everyone, majority in life, just on this plane, is stuck in their head, because it's a lot easier to control people that way, because they're stuck in a mindset of survival. And so when you're so caught up in the day-to-day, how am I going to do this, and this, instead of accepting that it's already done for you, because in all reality, at the end of the day, the answer of the universe is you. So you need to show yourself some love. And honestly, if you learn what real love is, I don't know about who I'm talking to, but I personally am a giver, and I've given till my heart gave out. And with that, I had to learn some lessons. And I heard this thing from a monk one time. I don't know their name. I wish I did. But you have to have a demon hand and a Buddha heart. And I believe there is an angel and a demon within everyone. So you need to have that balance.
Yin and yang.
Absolutely.
And that's where that balance of light and dark comes in. And I think that's important. And it's good you brought up the house, because I actually forgot where I was leading earlier with my earlier point. The premise of my earlier point about setting up shop in the center, and my house is somewhere in between both schools of thought, is that I can invite you in to my home, and I can have you sit at my table, and I can give you, sustenance. I can offer this to you, and whether or not you choose to feast on it or take it is up to you. So you are all our guests right now.
Are
you okay?
It's good. Keep going.
We're going to keep it rolling. She says authenticity is the key today.
Yes, it is. You want some real shit? Here's some real shit. I'm choking on air. Literally.
Which we all do, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Setting up shop, setting your house up somewhere in the middle. We are currently inviting all of you in right now, mm-hmm. to have a conversation with us. What you take from it is up to you. It's consider this the buffet. You're here with us.
Yes, I was like, that's how I see it. I was like, this is a feast, please.
Yes. It's however many courses you want. We can never run out. But here's the thing. If somebody that you find you've invited into your house doesn't necessarily agree with you, or is being toxic about not agreeing with you, because there's a difference between healthy debate, right? Or agreeing to disagree and being true to who you are while also coexisting in the company of others. And between that and disrespect. And a lot of people will try to disrespect you. Like she said, they will try to make you feel like you're stuck here, and never let somebody make you feel like you're stuck in your own house. At that point, you can tell that person, hey, I don't want you to starve. I just don't appreciate you eating here. You can't eat at this table anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to please leave. That's you kind of getting your safe space cleared. That's you kind of saying, hey, I got to take a step back from this. I've had to do that with a lot of people recently because a lot of people were not fitting my growth. They weren't helping me to grow. And
not everyone's going to match your frequency. Seriously, yes. Not everyone. And it is natural. This is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not personal. It's genuinely not personal when you disconnect with people. It's just literally you can't vibe on the same frequency anymore because you attract people in the same mindset as you. So you're going to acquire new people, or you're going to be put into hermit mode for a minute so you can really learn yourself. And if you are, to reach back on the shadow work, yes. So being that you are a house, there is a lot of rooms. If you don't understand, in my world, if you don't understand that you've had all of these lives, you've had all of this experience, you have a room in your giant house with every single one of these people that you once were. And so sometimes we can carry things from our last life and we still feel the weight because you feel who's in your house. You know that it's not empty. You know that. You can always feel when someone's in the house. Even if it's a ghost, you still know that someone's in the house because you feel them. Because I apologize if I just slammed y'all real bad. I apologize. But you can feel things because as humans, we are all empathetic. But it's deeper than that. So I like to say that I'm an antenna. I'm more than that. You're going to hear me say that I'm a lot of things. But I am an antenna. And so being that, like with the channel, I allow things to come through me, and then I also project them out. And that is so that I can clear the message. But in a means of shadow work, there's a lot of rooms we haven't walked into. We don't address every single feeling. Everyone doesn't. Literally everyone doesn't always address every single feeling.
Because there's doors we shut deliberately that we don't want to remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's part of where those shadows lie.
Yes. And we don't want to go into there because sometimes not understanding our feelings or our guidance. Seriously, your feelings are always valid. Doesn't matter how terrible they are, your feelings will always be your guide because your eyes, there's lots of tricks to play in this game of illusions. And it sucks. It really does suck because we love to trust all that. And we love to trust words. But if these words aren't followed through by actions and by empathy, you're never going to get that reality check. You are going to be stuck living in an illusion. And sometimes they seem nice, but they're not, because I don't know about you guys, but I signed up for something real. I didn't want an illusion, and that made my life absolutely chaotic. But I like to say that chaos is freedom. And there's a lot of reasons I say that. To some, they're like, what the fuck does that mean? Chaos is freedom. The way I put it, say you had wings and you were to go into a building, right? Being that your wings are so large and no one has any idea because they've never seen anyone with wings before, that makes things a bit chaotic for you. You have to put yourself in those shoes, right? That's absolute chaos. So that's what happens when you keep yourself in your mind. But when you step outside, chaos is freedom because you have all this space to fly. But it's scary because they can't stop you once you're flying outside. They don't know how to. You are not on a realm with them anymore.
And going back to what you said earlier, when people tried to trap you in your room, in this room up here, in your mind, that's what they want. So they know that you have wings. They know that you have wings. They don't want you to learn how to use them.
They don't want you to validate that you do have wings.
Right, right. So the chaos of being in a home, in a room, in a building where you have those wings and can use them, but you're limited because of the people, situations, and places around you.
It's like a bull in a china shop. You can try and be as gentle as you want to be, but the thing is, you got to take up space, for real.
Yes.
Take up space, because that is your purpose.
Because you'll get restless every once in a while. Those wings will start to go like this. You'll knock things over. You'll create waves. But that's because you're not yet where you need to be. You're not in the space where you can fully reach your potential. You need to fly. You need to go towards the sun. Sometimes we need to be caught in the dark to find the sun. It's okay.
Yes.
What do they say? Stars always shine brightest in the night. That's the truth, because that's where you can see it all. They never go away. but they exist to the eye at night. So that's what I believe shadow work is also. It's a lot of going to those dark places in your mind, rediscovering what you might have shut out and put away, so that you can find the lighter side of each of those situations and learn how to cohesively bond them with the light. So the dark, the light, combine it, figure out how to be the best balance of yourself. Don't shut these things away just because you are afraid of them or because you've tried to cut them off. You need to learn to come to terms with them so that you can work with them and help implement positive, character growth, because everything that's a part of us is a part of us, and we can't help that. So the only thing we can do is learn why we are the way that we are, and then learn to grow into the position that we're meant to grow into in life. And I believe that that's how I see it. Was that pretty?
That was pretty spot on.
Pretty spot on.
I like to say darkness is understanding.
Yes.
That's something I love to say. And a lot of aspects we get stuck on what we can't do.
Right.
But honestly, can't's a bad word to me.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago, someone told me can't's a bad word. And I didn't get it, but then I did get it. Because there isn't anything that you can't do. But at the same time, you must know your limits to be limitless.
Yeah, no, that's very true. You do need to know your limits to be limitless, because everybody has them. So not everybody can just, I like to think about it in the term of cars. Most cars have governors. They don't let you go over a certain speed. You want to go that high in speed. You know that you want to go faster. You were built for speed, but sometimes we live fast, we die young. But sometimes we burn out. Yeah, sometimes live fast, die young. Or what happens is we spend so much time going slow and being cautious, we don't live at all. So you might as well just be dead. There's a balance that you must have. And, just because you don't want that governor there, that limiter there, doesn't mean that you can't understand you might need it, because if you were to go that fast or cross this line or that line, it could all be done for you like that. You could really destroy your own world and bring yourself down in that process.
So I like to say that, and I know I've told Lucas this many times, I am the angel of patience, and I'm also the angel of death. Patience wastes no time, because she doesn't believe in time. And time is the test of patience, so she will not be tested no longer. With that, though, to circle back on what you were saying, I've fallen off track, because I know that there's
that was beautiful. That was
a million things that just jumped on my mind.
Yes.
I believe that absolutely everything is possible. So I don't hold any space for limiting belief systems. And when I catch myself with this contradictory of why am I not going that way, part of the shadow work is to play the why game. Play the why game and fall down that rabbit hole, because you will find the answer. And the thing is, once you hit the bottom, you jump right back up. Literally, you jump right back up. I like to think that I've ran ahead and accepted everything. So I like to consider myself a master manifester.
Sure.
And so I speak things into existence. Now, instead of saying I need to pay my bills are paid. My bills are paid. I have everything I need. Now, you might not see that in front of me right now, but that's okay, because I have everything I need. Because why? I make sure of it. Being that I am the keeper, maker of my reality. I take care of me. I am now an adult, so I'm technically my own parent. So there's so much there.
There's a lot. I was catching what you were kind of, and I was like, yes, there is a lot to discuss there.
I'm like, hold on. That's a
whole nother topic.
I can't give the gold, even though everything I give is golden.
Right.
But little by little, I'll let you in the vault.
Right. And I think, but so while you put your pin in that, we're backtracking how she said sometimes you need to find like the why, right? So that also is very metaphorical to me, because I like to think of it all as like, how when you were doing algebra in school, solve for X, find Y, solve for Y, find X. Okay. Sometimes that's what you got to do. There is always a why. There's always a how do we get to X? How do we get from point A to point B? But that's part of what makes it so amazing. That's part of what grows a person into sophistication.
Oh my gosh, yes. Every experience you are benefiting from, every single one. If it's not money, then it's character development. And you needed that, because everything happens for a reason. And you have to accept that at some point.
Absolutely. No. And like you were saying how master manifester, right? So like that's how you speak to, you got to put that on your language.
Yeah,
you
it is
change
done.
Your language.
It has been done.
Yes. And instead of saying things like, man, I have to go to work today. No, I get to go to work today.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I have to take the dog out. It's so late. No, you get to take the dog
out. You
out.
wanted all these things. All these things you asked for.
Yes.
You literally, everything that you have in your life, look around. Now pay attention to your word pattern. You spoke this into existence.
And that's why a lot of people that are perpetually in a negative mindset will never grow as a person. And I'm not saying that these people are wrong. Like she said earlier, your feelings are always valid.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, what are you going to do when you feel those feelings? Because there's still an action that needs to be taken.
They're telling you take a direction. They're not telling you sit and swelter. Like that's not what it means. Like when you are caught in such a dark place. So who was that? I can't remember his name right now, but it will come to me. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Who is that?
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yes. He said that depression is only what happens when, like, right before you're out of character. That's what's happening. Why you're so upset? That's not the real you. Start acting like yourself. Seriously. Allow yourself to do what you want. Ask yourself, what do I want? Seriously. Be real with yourself. Because the thing is, you can have whatever you want as soon as you find out exactly what you need. So you have to ask yourself questions. Questions aren't necessarily for criticality, but I will circle back to that. Questions are for answers. And to have detailed answers, to have the defined picture in life that you want, you have to be critical with yourself because that is the divinity in the details.
Absolutely. And so you would so then, may I ask a question?
Go for it.
So what you're trying to say is that it's all about foundation, right?
Absolutely.
And we talked about that early on this week. I had an episode called Detox, and I was telling you that I didn't want to say Chief's quote. I wanted her to say it for you. So what's the quote you gave me on foundation? Do you remember it?
I don't know. I say things all the time, Lucas.
Do you give me permission to share it with these fine people?
Yes.
She told me, she looked at me and said, foundation is everything. You cannot build a foundation upon water.
You cannot.
So you can't build upon water. You got to build on solid ground. You find what you need and you'll get what you want, is how that goes. So you got to ask yourself.
But you only know what you need if you allow yourself to dream about what you want.
What you want, right, exactly. So it all works in cohesion, but you can't just say, one day it's going to work for me. One day
I'll just get lucky. No,
it doesn't work like that.
No.
It's all about direction, like she said. And to build that foundation, it cannot be built upon water. We can learn to swim so we don't drown, but we can't be so comfortable with swimming that we never reach the shore.
Absolutely. So when we get stuck in a loop, unless you learn that a spiral is an okay thing and it will take you more than what a loop looks like, you will not know where you're going. If you have no idea what you want, you're just stuck in surviving. You need to get past that point and understand exactly what you need to survive and give that to yourself. I like to say, I am not the problem. I understand I have problems, and that's not necessarily what I mean.
Me.
But when
I'm the problem, it's me.
It's me.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, you're fine. Sorry, now I'm only seeing.
I know. We love Taylor Swift here. What can I say?
Hi, it's me. Damn it, Lucas.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
So bad.
It's okay. I am not the problem. So, like, say I really, really, really want a beautiful house, and I want a brand new car, and I want a beautiful car. Like, say I am dreaming about what I want. I have a good vision of what I want, but I don't even have a car. And that's a real thing. I don't even have a car. I just came here from North. Well,
Not yet.
I do have a car.
See, I'm using your own language. Yeah, she has one. It's just not here yet.
I don't chase, I attract, I ask, and I receive.
Yes.
Be very careful with that, because what you ask, you receive. That's why you made your reality the way you did.
Sometimes tenfold.
And
sometimes it becomes a lesson.
The thing is, I started with threefold, and then everything hits me in tenfold. So I have to be very careful about what I say. So I appreciate you checking on that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, in regards of what you may not have right now, you have to let that go and trust that a path will be made. All you have to do is walk. That's it. Just walk. Because if you keep walking in a circle about what you do not have, then that's all you're going to see. You have to say, what do I want? as he was saying, to know the direction you're going. Because if you don't even have a direction you're going, no shit, you're stuck in a loop. What? There, you have nowhere you want to go beyond there because you just keep saying, I need this, this, and this. And you know what you keep getting? This, and this. You just keep living off that paycheck. Why? Because that's what you're saying you need. That's not what you really need because your mind is literally destroying itself at some points. And then you are looking for these things to like vices and things like that. Like, and anything can be a vice. And I'm not judging because you know what? Vices help us hold on sometimes. That's seriously, like they help us hold on.
They do. They could be drinking. They could be smoking.
I'd rather you be here than you let go because a lot of people
lose that battle.
Yeah.
I've known plenty. Yeah. And like I said, it's a tough one because then that affects everybody around you. So
you have no idea how important you are until you really see.
Until you really see. And the sad part is the people, and I believe it was Juice WRLD said, you know, I don't think they're going to love me till I'm gone. You know what I mean? And it's a sad thing that people think that way, but they don't. The thing that always baffled me about that aspect is that they think that they take a gamble on it, but when they're gone, there's really no way for them to know how anyone around them felt because the lights are out now.
And
it's
the
over.
Thing is, sometimes ghosts are kept in the dark, and not a lot of people can talk to ghosts or even acknowledge that they exist. I believe in ghosts. I do.
Sure.
I talk to them all the time because they're always talking to me.
Right.
But the thing is, once they get caught behind a point of a veil of reality that not everybody's able to tap into, then it's so much harder to be like, I can see you. I can see you. And you don't even see them anymore.
Right.
And so they feel lost without you. And it's terrible because that's a literal tear. It is a literal tear in realities. And if you cannot be the bridge for that, oh my gosh, it's easier for them to get stuck on the other side and just sit there and wallow even more.
Yeah. No, that's beautifully said. And that's why, you know, you got to think to yourself, like she said, so what do I need? And I'll tell you what you might need, because this is what I needed, right? I needed time. And I know that time doesn't technically exist, but when I say I needed time, what I really mean...
told recently, time is a tool.
Time is a tool. And I was going to transition into that because time is really just patience.
It is.
Okay, so what you need is patience. You need to be patient with yourself and understand that not everything goes on a time frame. Not everything goes on a time frame.
Absolutely. And don't worry about speed. Okay, so if you've seen a car going and you pay attention to the rims, sometimes it looks like when it's flying, those things are going in reverse, right? And if that's what you pay attention to, then all you're going to see is that you're going in reverse. But you being the car, you know you're going fast. So do not worry about what anyone has to say about seeing you go in reverse, because the thing is, sometimes light speed looks slow as fuck. It does. It literally looks so slow to some people, but it's literally the fastest thing in the world. Patience gets everything done because she does not believe in time. And while she is waiting, she understands there's a million other tasks to delegate and get on to.
And I think it's because patience has good perception. You know, patience can see outside of the perception of generality, of conventionality. Patience can see like, okay, this is what is, this is what could be, but it does not matter to me because they will get from point A to point B.
It's just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. Right, right. So it's a very confusing thing when we say like, yes, it doesn't exist, but in all reality, the time limit is what doesn't exist.
Yes.
Time with yourself.
Clock. The clock doesn't exist.
The clock doesn't
exist.
The
existence of reality where there's a day and night and things pass and we have seasons and we have seasons within ourselves.
Seasons, that's important. Yeah. Yeah, that's another really good topic because I always tell people that if you don't like what's going on in your life right now, it's just the season you're in.
It's just the weather. You don't like the weather.
Change.
That's it. Not everybody likes the winter, but you know what? Crafty people do, because then they move their projects inside.
Right. And if you're not a nature person and you're not vibing with the whole seasons, like literally changing fall, spring, winter, autumn, all that, you can see it as a season of a TV show. You know, you're character developing right now.
Yes, absolutely.
It's character development. So like right now, you know, you're learning a little bit about who you are. You're learning a little bit about where you're going to go in the seasons to come from what you learned in the previous seasons. Once this one's done, some characters will make it to the next season of your life.
Yeah, pay attention who comes in.
Won't.
You get new people in your book every single day.
Yeah, they could go by chapters too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, this chapter's being written now. You're the one that's writing it. The next chapter, you're still going to be writing it. So don't worry so much about what you're going to put into it, because what you're going to give to it is going to happen in this chapter.
Absolutely. And if you have objectives to face, understand So literally, you are the writer. You are the writer, main character. You are the creative director. So have fun. Seriously, have fun. It is such an important lesson that we did not come here to play like chess. We came here to play like kids.
Yeah, no, and that's facts. And when you find yourself playing in these games of chess, understand that it's your game, it's not theirs. So this is very important. So the game is meant to be played. It's almost unavoidable sometimes. People will try to play games with you, but when they do, say it's chess. Okay, like she said, that's the metaphor she gave. That's the one I'm rolling with. In these moments, you got to realize there are so many possible moves. Don't let them make you feel like there's
Also,
just
it's
one.
just a game.
Yes, it's just a game.
And not everyone's playing for the same win. So identify your win and then identify theirs.
Yep. Because by the time that you have thought about what the first move is going to be, there's a million others.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game with near infinite possibilities, if I can remember that correctly. It's a game that has literally until the very end, until you absolutely have nowhere else to go. And even when you feel like, okay, you've been checked, that's it. Get off the board then at that point. You don't need to play other people's games, but you need to learn that if you're going to play their games, you got to learn how to play within your own square. You got to learn how to have them kind of coexist in your space as well, not just be the person being controlled in that space.
Do not let one game define you.
Yes, that's the way that I want to put it.
Do not let one game define you. That is so very important because you will. This life, I like to say, is the universe experiencing itself, but we like to keep ourselves in check because people only check because they care. Some people check because of control, but out of the right heart, people check only because they care.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to say, you're not supposed to care. You're supposed to love. And why I say that is because sometimes caring can be a fake thing. People are like, oh, you don't care about me? No, I love you and I believe in love, so I choose my self-respect first. And due to the fact of that, obviously, if you love someone, you're going to check up on them. You're going to care about them.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to care about anything except what you love.
Yeah, and that's perfect. That's very well said. And that's, for my part, you basically you covered a lot of what I was thinking.
Ting, tang, tang. Tang, tang.
I know. We're bouncing off the walls right now. We're going back and forth.
We got this in the bag.
We do. This might be one of the points in the video where I just kind of started to go, well, I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say? Because you said so many good things.
I apologize.
No. Do you have questions that you want
have questions?
people to...
Ask me questions because I do so much better when I roll off questions because I'm like, I don't know. He said something that triggered me.
Let's do that. We can try to go backwards a little bit and try to think about maybe some of the stuff that we didn't cover that we might have got distracted on. But I know that I pretty much covered my mentality on, okay, this is my house. I'm letting you in, blah, blah, blah. We pretty much covered shadow work.
Let's hit mindsets for a second.
Mindsets. Yeah. Good call. So go for it.
I believe, like I said, you can have anything you want. Please feel free to go wild. Literally think outside of this realm. Seriously, think about fairies, think about ghosts, think about aliens, think about that. Whatever you want, think about that. Stop thinking about all these things that you're going to do anyways. I necessarily do not like thought, and I don't like thinking about things because you're just going to do it anyway. So you just wasted mental energy that you were going to use as physical energy. Now you're doing that twice. You just drained yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah. Yep. And how she said, like, think about this, think about that, think about the other. Look at Stan Lee before he died, right? So he had this pitch for Spider-Man. And I can't tell the whole story exactly as it is, but I remember paraphrasing, of course, that he pitched this idea to his publicist for Spider-Man. And the publicist was like, this is stupid. This is never going to make, this is the dumbest idea you've ever brought me.
Just because it's not good to you doesn't mean it's not cool to the other guy. One man's trash, another man's treasure.
Because he
Everything
believed
is
in
art.
it. He believed in it. And he was living outside of his, out of the world's reality. And look at the franchise he built. He didn't give up on that. He slid Spider-Man into an issue of another comic that I guess Marvel or whoever was producing at the time. And, when his publicist got a look at the numbers and saw how successful that character was, he was like, Stan, you remember that character Spider-Man that we both loved so much? It's a hit. And he's like, oh, yeah, that we both loved. But he ended up spawning a franchise from it. And that became like one of the faces of Marvel today that you know and love.
How many people are connected with Spider-Man? I know I'm connected with Spider-Man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, because even some of my theories come from like Multiverse of Madness and like No Way Home. Like, because believe it or not, guys, really, seriously, I do believe that there are alternate realities. There are places beyond this realm.
So I believe what is real to us is what we chose.
Yeah.
That is what distinguishes our reality.
What we accepted, what we chose. Yeah. Right.
Everything that we were like, I made this move today. Well, that was real to us, and that's why it's on this current timeline of memory frame. So the way I see it is this is the universe experience itself. When I talk to you, I'm just speaking to a bit of my subconscious, but I also believe that all the dimensions are happening at once. They just come from literally so many different people. He is a totally different dimension than me. Look at our shapes.
Yes.
In his perspective of reality, he focuses on different things that I do not focus on. But our worlds literally collide, creating an entire new reality when we connect like that. So this is a bridge.
Yes, it's kind of like if y'all ever watch Loki, how there's all those branches of the tree of life, and they're all crossing, and all the different timelines, the webs, and all the different outlets that there are. When 2 points come together, they intersect. That in itself, that intersection, that's a shared universe right there between 2 people. Once those start to branch out, now once she goes her separate way tonight, I go my separate way tonight, I'm now living in my own reality as she's going to live in her own. It doesn't mean we're not channeling between one another. We got these wonderful things called phones, right?
Yes, we love technology because positive mindset.
Yes, and we can connect with other people via whatever realm of existence they're in. But I think the interesting thought behind the theory is simply that, no matter how many choices that we make, there was an area that exists where we made the opposite choice.
Absolutely.
I love that theory.
Oh, that's what I think all the time.
Yes.
How many times did you die?
Yeah, exactly. How many times did you die?
How many times did you die? Because I'm aware. I personally am aware of where I died. I was in a very serious car accident, and the whole. I'm gonna have to pause that one, but the whole.
She's gonna put a pin in it.
I know. I'm like. I can see the red string. We've accidentally covered this place. It's fine though. I was in a car accident, and I am someone who is a shifter. I call myself a shifter because I switch through these alternate timelines of reality because it's what I accept. So it's like I now decide that with my energy, I am walking into the life of where I did get it all, where I won every game, where I did all of it.
Where everything was checked.
Where everything was checked. Where I literally had the infinite check.
Yes.
And so now I feel as though I'm literally walking in the past. I feel like I'm sitting in the past because I trust so much so that this is all playing out for me. I have already set it up. Now I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
And now I have to walk there. Fall off track about that one for a little bit.
Could one say that was building your foundation, perhaps?
Oh, absolutely.
Because now that she accepts and understands what is, she knows already what will be based on what she's feeling, based on what she literally just said she knows. She knows she's going to get this.
Because everything's a choice. I believe everything in life, and I just believe everything in general is a choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything in general is a choice. Your feelings are even a choice because they are perception based. The way you receive your feelings, which are a guidance, are perception based. So it's just a mindset thing. Oh, yes, mindsets. So I think I consider myself to be a champion transmuter. Everything happens for me. Nothing happens to me. Everything happens for me. If things happen to me, I'd be a victim and stuck in the victim complex building over there. And I do not like that building. So I'm not going to get stuck in it because I like to fly outside.
Play on words, complex building. See? I like that.
It's very true, though.
It is true.
It's literally a building because, within our minds, there is an entire other world. The land of imagination is so real. And the more you are... Fuck knowledge. I mean, fuck knowledge. I love knowledge. But, what good is a book if it sits on a shelf all day?
Yeah.
Knowledge is great, but imagination is key virtue to creating. Because without imagination, we have no visionary. We have no idea. You could sit here with a textbook all day long, but if you don't pull from that and allow it to expand the way in which you think, then what is the point? You are just pre-programming yourself with another's perception.
Yep, and that's why I like what you said, because think about the Wright brothers, right? Think about how people were like planes. How are you going to get something so heavy to fly? Yeah, they took the law of physics and science, what they read from textbooks, because knowledge is just as important as
knowledge
creativity.
Is power.
Yes, knowledge is power.
But imagination has no limit.
Yes, right. Limitless. They had imagination. They had a vision. They had a plan. They took what they read, they made something out of it, and they brought that vision to fruition. It's just like the people. I remember a video where Tyrese Gibson was walking around, I think it was Greece or France or some really beautiful place like that. And he goes, I want you all to look and take these sights in. He goes, I need you to understand that no idea is stupid, because if people would have kept this idea in their heads, these beautiful structures wouldn't exist. The architecture, the things that you're gazing
I even look
upon
at
wouldn't
the
exist.
downtown Newcastle. Oh my gosh, all the old Victorian homes there.
Yeah.
My gosh, my heart goes out to them, because now they're not taken care of the same way, because we don't appreciate our things, because we're still stuck in this survival ass mindset. But those things, at one point in time, people took pride. They knew the worth of everything. They took pride in that. They didn't sit there and they didn't sit back saying, woe is me, the world is falling apart.
Like squandering, yeah.
Let me fucking tell you, the world's always been falling apart in someone's mind, but I like to see things as not falling apart, but into place.
Yeah.
It's just seriously how that works.
Which I think that goes along with what you said earlier about things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So because that deletes the victimhood mentality, because as long as you realize that even when things are falling apart, they're actually falling into place because you're learning something.
Yeah, this is only what you know right now. That's why it looks like it's falling apart. Absolutely, yes. That life is shattering, because that is not the life you needed to live. If you would have stuck there, you needed to acknowledge that you weren't even happy. Mm-hmm. You weren't even happy because you weren't real with yourself.
Recently.
Me fucking too.
Yeah. So there you go, right here.
Yes.
So we know. So it happened to both of us. You know, we were in these like situations that, well, I can't speak for her, but I'll speak for myself. I was in a situation where I felt myself, just as she said earlier, giving, but I felt like I kept being taken from. Yeah. It reminds me of that picture online where the dude's just giving pieces of himself, piece after piece, and slowly he's becoming nothing so that somebody else can become something. And it's like, you know, don't light yourself on fire to keep other people warm, but let the fire inside you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Define you, illuminate you, and the path of others around you, but don't give them that fire.
Okay, you said that now, just like you just kicked me.
I'm ready.
Yes. So I like to say that I have blazed a path that many cannot see. They're like, literally, I've had my family confused as fuck, because they're like, what is she doing? And I'm like, trust me, family's a whole nother thing, but we'll get to that one day.
We will. We've got topics. We've got a notepad. We're going to write down the extra stuff.
Yes, we do have a notepad.
I think she forgot we had it.
I did forget.
It's actually hers. It's not even mine. She tried to come prepared for the both of us. And
brought
here,
snacks.
Yeah, I swear to God, look at this. She's got
I got pizzas. I got grapes and hummus and pita crackers. I did try and kill him because I only brought a water, and I don't know if he's willing to share with me.
Would be, but that's okay. I don't need it yet. So we good so far. Well, while you continue to tell these fine people these things, I'm going to write your notes down for you.
Thank you.
So that I'm going to be the Donna to your Harvey Specter right now. You go ahead. Okay. You just gender swap.
It happens. It's okay. I hold space for everything within me, because I am everything is the universe.
Yes.
Where was I at, Lucas?
You were talking to us about. We were talking briefly on mindset. We switched to the fire and paving the path that not others can see.
Yes. So this burning flame of intuition and passion, everything you want, I promise you, you have the keys, because you are the key. So I like to say I hold all the keys. I hold all the keys to every room in my house, but I wasn't always good at using keys, and I'm still learning. So like knowledge, it's no good if you don't know how to use it correctly. So like, I can give you the keys, but if you don't, it's not going to fucking work if you don't actually learn how to use the keys.
Yep. And the over-analyst in me, see, we feel the same way about this, her and I. We feel the exact same way, except for my metaphor for it that I guess is I'm like the lockpick system. You know what I mean? Like I don't consider myself to be any one set of keys, because I do believe that I am all of them, but I feel like I more or less hold the power to open all locks. Key. Yeah, universal key, so to speak. And what that does is...
But I like the thief mentality, Robin Hood. Keep it going.
Keep it going. Keep it, steal from the rich and give to the needy.
That's literally me, I understand.
but right, you know, what I'm not doing is I'm not stealing from myself, so that I can give to people that don't deserve. And that's why I consider myself like the master locksmith, like you said, I am the person that can pick all the locks, but I'm also the master lock. I am the thing that can keep anybody else's energy from coming into my field, into my home.
You have to be both, just like it's a balance of light and dark. You have to know. You have to be the lock, and you have to be the key.
Right.
Because if not, you will never understand the purpose and the appreciation for one another that coincide with each other.
And the appreciation for freedom, for taking all the locks off.
That is
and entering what I consider to be, like, if you've ever watched Person of Interest, God mode. so to speak. Like that's the mode that we're trying to enter. We're trying to unlock.
You
that
said that,
God
and I'm
mode.
like, don't put me in that mode because I know how to switch
Right.
real quick.
Right. Nah, that's facts. Like, that's how it is. So I couldn't have said that better myself.
You did say it yourself, and you said it great. You said that really, really, really good.
I suppose she's right. I did say that myself, didn't I? I literally just spoke it.
You did.
But I was piggybacking off of what she said.
It came from your heart, though. Welcome to the triggers.
Welcome to the triggers.
I love my triggers because they teach me how to pull my own gun. Seriously. Because, like...
That's so good. That's so good.
It's so true, though, isn't it? Because it's like, we call them triggers, but that means I must be the gun because I just fired on you.
Right.
So to control my firepower, I must understand. So I appreciate anytime my trigger is pulled because I'm like, oh, now I know what to heal. So that does go back into shadow work. So appreciate your triggers, especially, and it also coincides with this alchemistic mindset. So like being a transmuter is a very important thing because you take negative things and make them positive. Now, being a natural transmuter, a lot of us are healers in that aspect. So sometimes you can also get lost on the aspect of healer because you attract a lot of people.
I got lost.
I did too, but you know what? We were confidently lost, and sometimes you have to get lost to find yourself.
And to find other people that can help you.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When I found you, I was lost, and when you found me, you were lost.
Very.
But I was like, hey!
Like, hey, another lost person.
Hey,
how are you doing over there?
I was like, can you see me? I see you. Because literally, universe gave me a whole, like, download on this man in, like, 3 seconds. Like, go talk to them. And I was like, I think I have to talk to him. Like, that little voice, that thing in your chest, you know what, that your gut that never steers you wrong, everything that you're like, oh, I wish I did that. Whenever you don't listen to that hoe, listen to that hoe. Listen to her. Listen to her. Listen to her. You will regret it. Do it. Honestly, because the worst feeling is after when you're like, oh, I should have done that. No, bro, I'm tired of that fucking feeling. I learned it the hardest way. The absolute hardest way. One of mine's walked out of this world because I did not, and it's not my fault, and I had to learn that. But I knew it was going to happen in my heart of hearts, and I said it, but I didn't do anything about it because that's another thing about knowledge. So what good is it if you just keep it on? I can't keep that on the shelf. Take action with knowledge. Take action with these things that you learn. Take action with the things that you want. That's where you start with what you want. Find out what you need. Find out what you need to survive so you can then dream. Once you
get
have
everything that you want.
Honestly, seriously, because we won't allow ourselves, and I personally won't. If there's no energy, like for creative, like if there's no space for creative energy, I said that in reverse, but it's okay. Then I literally mentally, I can be as creative as I want, but I will not produce on anything.
Right. You almost check out.
Literally, I do. I mentally check out because I can't handle it. Because the creator in me is like, I want to do all this stuff, but you are literally like an animal in a box that's scared right now, running in circles.
Rabid. Yeah.
Literally feral. Are you okay?
And I think that too, when these situations that I think that we can agree, we both put ourselves in, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Everything you do is your choice.
You can point.
Every single thing was your choice. I understand some things were not people's choice. I understand that. That's why I'm here for justice.
What you're born into sometimes, or how you are, what your family deals onto you, or even your friends. A lot of that, you didn't choose that. But here's the cool part. You can choose to leave that at the door.
Yep.
Right? So that's the cool thing. So I never like to, these days, before I would always place, I'm like, oh, it was this person's fault. It was that person's fault. I am what I'm at. No, it's nobody's fault.
I'm the problem first.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because when you say, well, so-and-so controlled me, like when we said we met, we were in some very weird places in our life. And,
people pleasing is a form of manipulation, just the same.
Yes. And you cannot just blame the person that you're trying to people please or that's manipulating you. You have to look at yourself and say, the only reason that this person or situation or place controlled me was because I let it.
Yeah, do not be mad for the way you decided to play your piece in the match.
Yes, exactly. You could have been the king. You were the pawn.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Because you allowed yourself to be the pawn.
Because you allowed yourself to be.
You didn't keep your piece. You have to see yourself on the board. Who am I? Personally, I am a queen. I can move any way I want to.
It all starts on the board, but eventually we learn how to, what's the word I'm looking for? Transcend the board.
I was going to say ascend, but I'm so happy that you said that.
Transcend.
Yes.
We learn to become the master chess
We
player.
learn to become the board itself.
Or the board itself. Yeah, we can learn to be. We are
an
all
appreciation of every piece.
Yeah,
and every piece has purpose.
Absolutely. Yes.
He's like,
that's what I like to hear. I feel like we're in a church right now. Amen.
Yeah.
Like
this is my kind of church.
It is. Because then that's another thing, you know, with the, and I don't know how long we intend to go, but we got to keep probably under an hour, but we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this.
This is golden.
This is really good. We got to talk about so as far as like, you know, even religion and stuff like that goes. So church isn't always what people need, right? It's the communion. All right. It's the unity. Okay. And to me, whether you believe in it or you don't, that's fine. Whether you believe in some of it, all of it, none of it does not matter, because what matters is that if I'm staying true to my beliefs, and my beliefs are very simple. I believe that there is a God. I believe that there is a creator. I believe that something helped put this universe together and create it. I don't think it's all just two rocks clashed together and we just happen to be here.
Pating!
Pating seems a little...
Don't get me wrong, I love rocks. I love them. But...
Right, we can hear yours clinking, and that's not how the universe was created.
Well, listen, I create the universe all day long.
Right, so she could have just created another one right now. Maybe it was. We don't know. Here's the thing that we don't know. The reason it's called the Big Bang Theory is because it's a theory.
It's a theory.
The reason that people practice religious theory is because it's a theory, guys. So don't kill each other and beat each other up over a theory.
Seriously. Love each other, because I love talking to people. It expands my perspective on how you can think about things. And I'm like, that makes sense. So now I'm not judging you. Like, but you can't hold judgment and understanding at the same time, because those are both very heavy weights and they take up your entire being. And
what's the Bible say? The Bible says that the body is a temple. She talked about her body being her house. She talked about she is the house, right? So church, I hate when religion tries to say, well, you need church to be within the belief. You need church to be within the faith. That is false.
I'm already within my temple.
You're already within your temple, and your job, if anybody who has actually read the Bible, the job is mission, basically, to spread your gospel, whatever you want to call it.
Shout out to Mission Monday.
Your Mission Mondays, yes. See, she remembers Mission Mondays.
Fuck yeah, that was awesome.
So that is your goal. Your goal is to spread happiness, spread joy, spread ideas that create unity, not that bolster segregation.
I mean, shit. If
masses.
We're gonna play on simulation theory, and this is all a big game. Don't you want to know your objectives list, so you're not just like walking around like, sure, Sims is fun or whatever, but like I like adventure games. Like I want to get into it. Let's see the mythical beast.
She's like, I'm Skyrim all the way. You know what I mean?
I literally played no video games because I wasn't allowed to. So L.I.F.E is my ultimate video game.
Sure, and that's what makes it so interesting. See, me, I've grown up playing video games all my life. So when I have this idea of a simulation, my idea, and I oftentimes feel like I'm stuck in one sometimes, is that I can't break the code that's already written.
I mean, we're all within our own matrix because it's our personal coded reality. Because we speak this into existence, right? So those are essentially like our words. The way I look at it, I'm a programmer. The way in which I accept my belief system, which is what creates our reality, because the only way you can play a trick on yourself or implement something within your mind is if you allow yourself to believe it.
Yeah.
And so it's like within this coded logic that allows me to accept things, that is how I create my world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that was wonderful. And that's what you got to do. Your belief is your belief. Share your beliefs and principles with other people. Don't judge them.
You see what you believe.
Yeah, seriously. You see what you believe. That's right. And, the things that exist as fact, like, okay, this is my hair paste. I used this when I put my hair up before I did this podcast because I didn't want to look like a fool with flat hair. Sure, that's a fact. But what about the things outside of the facts? Like, okay, we don't know how we all got here. We don't know what's going on. So why don't we try to give each other ideas and figure out why we're all here together? There's no need to make somebody feel. Those who belittle you.
Do not denounce anyone that is wrong.
Never denounce, because those who belittle you are being little with you. All right? That's what I love. And I think Joel Osteen said that. Not everybody likes Joel Osteen. I know we don't bring him up, and that's fine. But that is one quote that he said that really stuck with me. He said, those who belittle you are being little with you. And I love that. It's so true. I don't think there's any other better way to put it. You can't sit there and belittle somebody just because they don't believe the same way as you, just because they don't see through the lens.
Yeah, it's quite small. It's small-minded.
It's like, and those are the people that,
And there's nothing wrong with being small. I encourage everyone to literally allow them to be so creative and free within their imagination.
But grow.
Yeah, but I'm more so hitting on an inner child aspect. It's okay to be little in that aspect.
Oh, yes, for sure.
It's very important because you'll recognize the little people are the biggest ones we have. Seriously. Everyone, why everyone looks so far to influence children and put things in a precursor programming within their mind is because they are the future. But due to the fact of we think that things are ruled by money, we think that it's all because of money. Behind money, it's power. Mm-hmm. So yes, we keep the parents distracted right up here, but really the lights of our future are back there and they know everything. And we are so stuck on believing what we see. We think those little people don't know what the fuck they're saying. They know exactly what they're saying. There's a reason they're so bright. They just came back from here. They still have their lessons. They still remember. You'll hear little kids talking about their past life, things like that. My uncle, which is the person who actually I lost, he used to say that he lived in a castle. He literally took my family. He had an uncanny sense of direction for a child. He knew everywhere he was going. He took them on a path unknown to everyone else to a literal castle. And he said, that was my castle. Mm-hmm. And it's so cool. Things like that rock me because I'm like, that was real.
Yeah. Yeah. And I believe that there's many things, and that goes with the inexplicable things that we can't physically
Like, how
prove.
are you supposed to?
yeah, but it happened.
Yeah.
Right? So like I say, and that brings you back to the whole thing about perspective, and it just loops right around. Everything just comes right around full circle. You know, what you believe versus others, perspective, your kaleidoscope versus their, microscope. Some people are trying to, break it down to a science. They're trying to psychoanalyze.
Skill gets you too far.
Yes.
It gets you too far, but intuition, there is no end destination. Welcome to the infinite game.
Yeah. Intuition.
I am a very intuitive player because I'm not playing this chess match.
Right.
I'm not playing this chess match. I'm playing one you can't even see.
Right. That's what it is.
But I've already set your win and my win. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes the best businessmen, because I'm a very business woman.
Very business-oriented person.
I'm a very business-oriented person. My mom
we'll keep it PC. No, I'm kidding. There is no PC here.
Fuck that.
Whichever we want.
Yes. I love that.
I do too.
I love PC because it's like politically correct, and it's also what is it? And NPC is like
is a non-playable character. Yeah, that's actually.
So I think about like when people say I speak very PC, I'm like, ooh, you look like you're just like you look like you're a storyline. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, skip.
Yeah. Like in Animal Crossing when you hold down a button and it goes really fast. Like,
yes, that's how I see people half the time. I'm like, oh shit, you're stuck here or you're a projection. Okay.
So you do your thing here, respectfully. I'm going to go do my thing over here.
Yeah.
And then if we meet back up somewhere in the middle. No. I'm just going to leave her here with my phone.
He's like, you didn't hear it. And I was like, I don't know what to say now, guys.
She's like, so I would like to know, how's your guys' day going?
Was it a good day? I'm slightly uncomfortable now because I don't know what to bounce it off.
She's even more uncomfortable because I'm her ride back home. So
I didn't even think about that aspect. And now I'm fucked.
I'm just here in this library. We got 20.
I have your phone,
32
Lucas.
more minutes.
I have your phone.
Everything. And even if she had my card,
I also have the snacks.
No gas. The snacks, yeah. Oh, wow, we just took a turn. But that's okay. That's part of what it's for, is to take a turn.
Oh, my gosh, I love rabbit holes because they're all connected. We were able to touch back on so many points because that's what, if you allow your triggers and appreciate them, then they will put you in the right direction.
No, absolutely. And with that, I mean, everything that I feel called to say right now has been called to me.
Yeah.
I feel like we really, this is what I like. One final thing I will say. When you feel that your mind is chaos, let it be like you just saw here. Chaos, organized chaos.
Let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Be chaos. Let that little kid run around in your house because you are the little kid. Let them get that shit out.
Yes.
Literally.
You
Seriously.
feel it all, and then you let it go, and you turn it into something.
Stars, to circle back to your completely origin of this, stars burn out only to get bigger.
Yes, isn't that beautiful?
Only to get bigger. But also, take your time. Because once you're on Earth, which is something I am re-landing on, ground yourself in this and recognize how big you are. And it's a lot more, it's a lot easier to get to what you want when you're focused on that. So put on those tunnel vision goggles. Focus on yourself. I'm not saying ignore everyone, but it's okay if you set your phone over there.
for a couple hours, and you
recenter yourself, because you know what?
I'm doing that tonight.
Yeah, it's good for you. It's literally good for you. Put it in a box. Look
what we did. This is the box right now. I set my phone aside. Everybody that's trying to get a hold of me or has been trying to get a hold of me.
Seriously, this entire time,
doesn't matter right now. Yeah, I swear to God, my face kept getting covered by things. I'm like, oh.
Anyways.
Yeah, here's all these people trying to get. That's fine, because you know what? Right now, I'm not letting that into my house. And
absolutely.
I have to take that time on myself. And
I'm in my room. The music's on.
Yep.
But honestly, I'm having a very, you have to understand the importance within just speaking to yourself.
When she said too about being a child, let yourself be the child. Everything's always going to be bigger than you. So if you feel the need to be your smallest self for a little point in time, do that. Because the world's always going to be bigger than you.
Remember what you came here for. And remember your imagination. Remember how fun and freeing that was.
Sometimes
that's what you're supposed to do. If it gives you the feeling, fucking let it go. I don't even care if it's your job. Promise. The universe will catch you. Promise.
Sometimes being the bigger person means being your littlest self, your youngest self, the child within. Grow old, as my mother says, but never grow up. Okay, that's important, because all the energy, she's wonderful, isn't she? I love her. First, shout out to my mother on the podcast.
Shout out to your mom, because she's lit.
That's how we're kind of, right, she is lit.
She's so lit. Sorry,
and it's a good metaphor, because she has a fire inside her that she doesn't let anybody put out.
Yes.
You know, she's very confident about who she is.
Let that blaze it for you. Seriously, what you do not see, trust this fire within you.
Let it light the way.
Seriously.
And let that child kind of direct from time to time. It doesn't mean be childish, mind you. It doesn't mean be the little person, but sometimes when I say it,
be the little person. Do that. Let the little kid come even out here. Hear that little voice again, because you actually still have it. And regardless of anything you'd like to admit, you still have that person.
Right.
In a safe space, they exist. So acknowledge them.
And when I'm saying that doesn't mean you need to be the little person. I'm not saying it doesn't mean you need to be the inner kid. No, you're good. I'm saying that, to take the high road isn't always to act as an adult. Sometimes to take the high road is to remember that your inner child still loves you and has love for the world. Because sometimes as adults, we start to shut out emotion. The most. They do. We start to shut out as we get older. They don't have the game
yet, because it's not a game. They just love.
Was not. Yep. We start to shut things out. We start to push love away. We start to think that we get trapped in this matrix of work. It's all work. It's no play. And then what starts to happen is we can never share our space with anybody who might need us. We can never allow other people to come in because we might need them. I mean, in the end of the day, the only person we truly do need is ourselves. But it sure absolutely. Is nice
to have someone
share.
Else. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But you should acknowledge that I love myself so much. When I share you with me, it's a gift.
Right.
And it is a gift of the same to be able to share the space with you.
And hasn't this been a gift?
It has, honestly, to me.
Yes.
Something I say a lot is your trauma trains you.
Mm-hmm.
My trauma, being the alchemist mindset, my trauma trained me. I'm grateful for everything that's happened. I am. Do not let it trap you, because trauma can also trap you if you don't learn how to follow your feelings.
Trauma trains, it doesn't trap, and it shouldn't define.
That was good.
Yes, there's 3 parts to it. And so, like I said, that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining us with this. And
if you were able to hold on this far, congratulations. Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Clan.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Yes, we welcome you, and we can't wait to see what else we do and what other rabbit holes we go down. But
welcome to the multiverse of our worlds.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
And thank you
for having me.
I love that. And so we'll probably wrap it up for now. But when we decide what more we need, it's funny because I told her I'd be the keeper of her notes. I only wrote down 2, family and background.
Good enough. We did great. We did really great.
I wasn't even sure what I was saying of when I wrote it, but she always tells me just go with your gut.
Seriously.
I wrote this down, so she's going to look at this later, and you know what she's going to do? She's going to go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why.
I literally will.
That's, yeah, for real.
I will. I'll probably have a 4-hour conversation about just family.
So that being said, thank you for being a part of ours tonight. Thank you for listening to us. We have kind of a space now that we can go to that's not just, the old my bedroom for my private podcast. It's now we have a space, so it's nice. And we will also plug for your podcast.
Yes, no need to make sense. I am working on bringing that one to light. Luckily, I have someone pretty good teaching me the ropes.
Decent.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty all right.
sucks, but it's fine.
Do you have? So do you.
No, he's pretty cool.
Do you have any socials that you can direct people to that I could post your links to your
I
page?
might be able to. So I have a couple TikToks. I have Trip With Me Through Infinity, but it's like Tripping With Me Through 8. And then I have Fuck the Clock on TikTok. So that is FUK the clock.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So that's where you can go check Chief out at. And it's so funny. Normally, I swear a lot usually, but I didn't catch myself this once. You did it all for me. No, but that's okay. I'm not calling her out.
I'm very passionate, and I like swear words because it's not a curse to me. What is a curse to me is the intention behind words.
Right.
So you can say bless your heart.
And see, and I like this because, it reminds me that at a time I was also like very, and that's how I needed to be for the time. But now I was drawing into a different energy that you were picking up what I needed to do that I wasn't doing, and you did it for me. So and I love that. This is a very good balance.
It is.
So it's wonderful. But we appreciate having you, and I appreciate having you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and I should have been holding this the whole time. Watch this, guys. You want to see something cool? Bye. Did it turn out? This son of a bitch.
Bloopers.
Hell balls. Okay, this is no mics. How does it sound? We don't fucking know, but we're gonna find out.
Pancakes.
Slippery nipples. Hello. Is it muted? Is it not? We don't know. Pancakes and slippery nipples. Try it.
Titties. This is not it.
Microaggressions. Is that better than slippery nipples?
Titties.
Titties and despair.
Titties and despair. Okay, I feel like this isn't too bad for titties. We're good.
See? See, why does it start it, but it doesn't stop it?
Oh, let's say self-discovery.
But everything is as it is.
We are literally all, I think majority of the things we hit on, because we are a universe, is we're only talking about self.
Yeah, we're only talking about
and there's
self.
just so many aspects of self. We're only talking about ourselves.
Only talking about ourselves. It's not vain, you see. It's power to the person and hopefully to the people.
Yes, that's something I hit on in my TikToks. It's like about reinstilling your personal power, because we don't even understand how much power we have, and we give it all away every single day.
Every single day, to people that don't deserve it, to people who will not cherish it, to people who will not appreciate it.
To beliefs, to we have no idea how much infinite
slave to the system.
Slave to the system.
That's the mentality.
But not a slave to the system no more, because the system enjoys being my slave.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is. End of the day. So that's what we got to do. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked going off on the tangents. I liked kind of, piggybacking off of the different views and principles and beliefs and ideologies. I think we could do great stuff with it.
I feel like we did really good. I feel like over time we're going to build even more comfort, getting out of our comfort zone. So like day one, we did really good. Will we do better?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We will. Hell yeah.
This is our foundation.
And it's still going. Yep.
Yes.
It's fine. Okay, that was good though, because it's off
air.
There's so many good things.
I know.
I said a swear.
Oh,
okay, let's see if this works.
Good job.
Can I hold it?
Deuces.